TinkerCAD tips, welcome back. This is going to be part 2 of this silicone counter candle mold. Now in the prior part, which you can find on my profile of course, we were working on this portion of it. We were making this outside wall. So here's what we need to do next on this. Let's make this untransparent again. I want to increase the height of this just a little bit to be above the rest of the mold here. That should be about high enough. Now we need to cut an inset around the inside edge of this in order to accept the bottom of this inner portion of it here. So for now, let's go ahead and hide this outer part, Control H. I'm going to select all of this. Whoop, got that part back there. Let's select just this part of it here. For now, we'll lift this up. Now I want a copy of this bottom edge. We haven't grouped that into the rest yet, so I'm going to do a duplicate, Control D. Drop that to the work plane. Now this upper portion of it here, I can group all of those together now. So I'm going to select all of that. Control G to group. Then I'm going to go ahead and hide that. Control H. On this bottom one here, the one we have on the work plane, I want to turn this into a hole. And I want to raise this up 2 millimeters. My snap grid is set to 1. So holding the Control key, I'm going to cursor up once, twice. And then I'm going to bring back the rest of this. Shift Control H. Oop, let's re-hide this one up here again. All right, now to build a little bit of tolerance into this, I want to make this whole shape down here just slightly larger. So I'm going to select on it. I'm going to hold down Alt and Shift. I'm going to click on a corner here. And I have 104.83. I'm going to make this 105.83. And then I'm also going to make sure that this is tall enough. So right now we're just above 2. We're going to make this to be 2.4. All right, I'm going to Shift select this outer. Let's do a quick alignment to make sure they're still in alignment. They are that direction, that direction. And you see here, if I make this outside transparent, that whole shape is going to bite partially into this outside ring. All right, I'm going to select both of these parts. Union group those together, Control G. Once they're grouped, if we look in here, there's this lip or this notch to accept the other part of our candle mold. Let's bring that back, Shift Control H. Let's go ahead and hit D to drop that down. We'll make the outside transparent with the T. Let's zoom in here a little bit. Let's select that inside part here. I'll select the both of these and unselect the outside, so I have just the inside part now. And if you look down here, we can raise this up. Let's set this to be just 0.1 millimeter. We'll go up one more. So we've got a tolerance built in. Now what we need to do is to split this outside case into 2 parts and to put things on it that we can use binder clips to hold it together. So let's go ahead and select that inside part. We'll hide that. Make this untransparent. Whoops, we need to ungroup this for a moment. Let's ungroup that. Let's leave that hole there. We're going to need to cut the hole after we put our rectangles on. Put our first rectangle there. We'll make it yellow. We'll have it be 10 millimeters wide. And let's say 15 millimeters that direction. We'll stretch it up here. Now for the moment, we can just manually move this in. Make it a little taller, there we go. Let's come around to this side of it here. We're going to make a duplicate of that. Now I want to keep these in line. So I'm going to change my snap grid to 1 millimeter, and I'm going to shift nudge the other half over here. I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to move that one in until it intersects. Okay, now I can shift select the other one, and let's move these over a little bit so that they're about halfway across. Verify that they're not poking out on the inside. Okay. Now we can select all of those, including this inside hole shape. Control G to group those. All right, now we have that part of it. Now let's split that in half. And you've seen this technique before. We'll bring out a whole box here. Whoops, undo that. So we split this right in the middle. While that's selected, let's put our work plane on the side edge of this, and we'll drop that box to it. W to do work plane, put it back on the default. Now with my snap grid set to 1, I can cursor over 5 millimeters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Now I can stretch this across. Let's bring it out. Let's increase the height of it. Bring this side in a little bit. Okay, we have that side covered. Now while that's selected, I'm going to do Control D to duplicate that. W, we're going to put the work plane on this edge. D to drop. W, and let's put our work plane back on the default here. Okay, now we have that. We're going to lasso select all of that. Control D to duplicate. Snap grid set to 1. Let's shift nudge that over here. On this one over here, let's delete that side. On this one, we'll delete that side, and let's do some union grouping. We'll group those two together. Group those two together. Almost there. Let's move this back over. Work plane, we'll put it on the edge of this over here. While this one is selected, D to drop. W, work plane, let's put the work plane back on the default. And let's bring back our inside part. Shift Control H to unhide. And there we have it, a 3-part mold. Let's make this outside transparent. You can see where the inside part of the mold fits in that groove there. We can take that, let's shift it over this way. We can take this one, shift it over this way. So there you have it, a 3-part mold for making a silicone mold for making candles. Like, follow, and repost. Need those reposts. That would really help me out a lot. As always, drop me some comments, or if you've got new ideas for TinkerCAD tips and tutorials, DM me. Till the next one, happy tinkering, everyone.